we had to bring suits with us. This was on our trip to the IAW. I can't do this anymore.
Okay,
this was on our way to the IAW TV Awards, and just having the suit bag completely threw off your groove. Like you didn't know.
I had a problem. I had a serious, almost a nervous breakdown because I had a suit bag.
You're like, Miles, can you carry this on the first time? I don't know what to do. I was like, oh, you can just tell them if you can hang it. There's typically like some space near the front.
There wasn't.
And you asked, and they said no, and you looked at me like I had just betrayed you. Like,
you were on Southwest.
Yeah.
Normally the closet is in the first class cabin. Southwest does not have first class, so there's no closet.
there you go.
Everything's equal on
communist.
Southwest.
Yeah. So
y'all were flying to the IAW TV Awards.
Exactly.
Flying
So
to
we're
Las
flying
Vegas.
Austin, Las Vegas. I started this asleep, so you might need to start this. I was asleep with my hood.
I was playing
like such.
I was in the zone. I was listening to some Starbomb, playing some Zelda, and then I noticed that there was a whole lot of people rushing past me in the aisle.
Right.
And
To the aisle across from me.
Yeah. So I was let's say I'm in row 1, right? Kerry is directly behind me in row 2, and then Bernie is right across from me in row 1A, whatever the fuck. In row 2A.
It would be to your F.
Shut the fuck up. I take my headphones out. I'm like, what's going on? And I look over my shoulder, and there's just a crowd of people near the aisle directly across and behind me. Right. And the stewardess is there, and everybody looks kind of freaked out. Flight attendant is
Flight
that
attendant.
whatever the flying lady person.
The PC correct.
She opens up the floor and pulls out this black box telephone looking
Which
thing.
I've never seen them do before. I didn't know that was there.
And she started using the phrase, "We need to call dispatch," and that I only hear in television. So I knew some shit was going down.
This was somewhere I was dreaming at that point, and somewhere in like the fugue state that I was in, I heard
Fugue state. Okay, Heisenberg. Jesus.
I heard
nice reference, Gus.
Yeah, I heard they said I didn't actually know they said this. They said if anybody is a what did they say? It was
a medical
personnel on the flight, please push the call to button.
And I was
I was like, okay,
yeah.
what is this?
So a nurse came over.
Yeah.
And all I can see is a crowd of people, and then a hand just not moving, just sitting on a knee, just kind of just limp. Like that,
And that was Kerry.
and and then people crowded around him,
He's
and
tired from jerking it.
I'm getting a little uneasy. But the nurse gets in there, and they're feeding this guy oxygen.
Yeah.
And that's when I hear the phrase,
Feeding it?
Yeah, he was like with a
just
fork.
spoonful, just spooning it in.
Delicious.
Here comes the plane.
Everybody else had the turkey. Oh, shut up.
Good job,
Thank
Miles.
you, Barbara.
Fist bump from across the couch.
But that's when I heard the phrase, "Oh God, he has no pulse. He has no pulse."
The nurse said, "Oh God."
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a little tense.
And this was about the point I woke up, and they kept repeating the phrase, "He has no pulse, he has no blood pressure." I didn't know. I don't know what that means.
So
I'm not a doctor.
The male flight attendant turns to the female flight attendant and politely asks her to tell dispatch that we need to land the fucking plane right now.
Yeah.
Because this dude is dead.
Yeah.
And almost as if on cue, like after he says that, all of a sudden everybody nearby suddenly just looks.
Yeah.
And I hear them go from being like, hush, 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 to, hey, buddy, whoa, how you feeling?
The guy literally, he was standing there and he just went and like sat up. It was just like awake and breathing.
He just woke up from a nap or something.
Yeah.
And Bernie was sitting right in front of him.
Yeah.
And he told me that apparently the guy was just gray as stone, just no color in his face. And then he was up.
Not like a brown stone, but like a gray stone.
Like a gray stone. Gray as a gray stone.
Okay.
And
Like
and then he was just kind of back, and everyone's like, "Are you okay? Yeah, you were gone there for a bit. Do you have a condition?" And the guy says, "I mean, sometimes low electrolytes, but no, not really." I'm like, "Okay, sure."
I'm prone to random death.
Get this man a
big deal.
Gatorade, some G2, preferably.
Sometimes all my blood pressure disappears and my pulse starts.
that was when he was like, man, everybody should drink
Stop
Gatorade.
But everyone kept up and was like, "Are you okay?" He goes, I feel fine." So they just decided, okay, I guess we're still going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Everybody get back to their seats. Everything's cool. And the two people that were in his aisle get back to their seat, and it was this very awkward few seconds of, what the fuck was that? You died?
Yeah.
They're like, do we say anything? Do we address what just happened? And then they just go, no, they're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I know,
Didn't
that
you
should have
say
happened.
that like when he got off the plane, he just like walked off and left
So
like
that's what I was saying.
everybody?
We landed. I assumed that they were gonna rush him off. Nothing.
Dude just got off.
he waited like the rest of us. There was nobody at the end to meet him, to check on him if he was okay. He just walked off like nothing fucking happened.
And apparently he wasn't meeting anybody there. No. He wasn't going with anybody. He was just a lone dude going to Vegas. And and here's the weird thing: the dude was maybe
here's
30.
the weird thing.
I thought for sure when the crowd dispersed, I'd see some old geezer or something. No, the dude was maybe 30.
Yeah.
Wow. Looked like a completely normal guy. Just died,
Except
then woke up. And, yeah.
So wait, what caused people to start being suspicious? Because I've seen people asleep on planes, and I wouldn't think that they were.
Here's
dead.
what happened.
Oh God.
So according to Bernie,
Yeah.
He heard from the people behind him. They were all talking to him. They were all having a conversation, the three of them. And then the guy that croaked just starts talking, and he all of a sudden he couldn't. It looked like he couldn't get out what he was trying to say. Like he really wanted to say something, but he just couldn't. And then his eyes rolled in the back of the head, and he just
he died.
I think
and then he died.
And then he died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, literally.
So
did they have to log that, Gus? Like, did the flight attendants have to write that stuff down and actually be like?
No, because he got off the plane under his own power.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I don't know. I'm fucking making it up.
I mean, that makes sense.
I did believe it though.
here's the question: does that guy then have the best luck going into Vegas or the worst?
No,
luck?
no, you've used up all your
he
luck.
burned
Or
it.
did you use up everyone else's
Did
luck
he use
on
up
the plane?
our luck? Yeah.
He went all in,
Yeah.
and he won. It's like that's it. You fucking walk
He
away.
definitely didn't use our luck. We made one bet while we were
that's
in
true.
Las Vegas because we were lame and just went to dinner and then went to bed. But we walked through a
As you
casino.
do in Vegas.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And went to
You've
bed
seen
in our
my
room
track
with the
record.
window connected to the bathroom.
That's pretty great.
But no, we made one bet. I was just like 20 on red. Red wins. Thank you very much, Las
walked away,
Vegas.
yeah.
I was just done.
So you came out on top.
You won
100
Vegas.
100% increase in your money.
There you go.
That.
Yeah, that's a success.
I don't know.
There was money he owed me too, so double.
Wow.
It was like 200%, really.
Even better.
Yeah.
It's like undefined.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's like your calculator has a little E on it.
And then you turn it upside down and you're right. 80085.
Yeah, boost.
That guy might actually have had the right idea though, because flying is boring, and I bet that flight was really fast.
Yeah.
It's really
Die
quick.
midway through your flight.
Imagine napping, imagine dying.
Do you think that death was like a precursor and that he died in his sleep in his hotel room that night? Like, they
I
say
would
like
hope.
you have a stroke
Yeah.
and then
I would
chances
hope.
are you die again.
That's why I thought somebody would be there to check on him, because
Yeah.
it's like, clearly he's not okay.
Yeah.
It was like, that was your fake death. Your real one's coming in 2 hours.
Do you think he was afraid to get on the plane going back? Like, oh shit, is this gonna happen again?
what kind of
Did he
freak-
drink the Gatorade?
Maybe he like checks that box when he's buying the plane ticket. Are you prone to sudden death?
Yes.
I think what happened was he'd been dying all week, and he just decided to take all of his money to Vegas to try and make the most
Yeah.
of it. While he
That's
was
Leaving
Not
Las
gonna make
Vegas,
it.
right? This Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage movie, right?
Dying all
He tries to kill himself in Vegas.
Aren't we all
this again.
dying all the time?
A couple hours, he'd be like, not today.
Not today,
I
Lord.
gotta get to Vegas.
What do we tell death? Not today.
Not today.
All right, get out of here.
Well, wait. Just one thing
What?
to think about. One thing to think
no.
about.
What?
What's creepy is normally when I get on a plane, I don't really feel like talking to anybody. I just kind of put in my headphones and that's that. If this guy hadn't been talking to anybody, if he had just fallen asleep, do you think he would have died?
Well,
because
'cause he
nobody
didn't do
healed him.
shit.
Yeah, no one did
He
anything.
didn't do shit.
He would have died, woken up,
They-
and nobody would have known.
Yeah.
It's not even him.
Can you imagine if you died on a plane and didn't know? Like you fell asleep, died, and then came back to life.
Maybe that's what happens every night.
I'm
Yeah.
really,
Go to
I'm
bed.
really sore.
Yeah.
It's cold.
You just
got
wake
some
up
death
feeling.
aches.
You just feel really groggy
My
for
hands
some
are really
reason.
Icy. What's going on? Bad circulation.
Would
My
you be
heart
scared
feels
if
cold.
you were told that you had died in your life?
Yeah, I would be freaked the fuck out.
Wait, you mean like
I would have said land the fucking plane.
Or like if you find like you died at like the end, and it's like, oh yeah, this is like the third time you've died. It's like, what the fuck? How did that happen?
You go to heaven, it looks really familiar. It's like, have I seen this place before?
It's like, oh, Gus is back.
First time we had our alarm go off was a rat, I think. It was a rat or a mouse set it
Yeah.
off.
Oh, that's a sensitive
Yeah.
sensor.
That was fun.
You hear that, thieves? Don't even think about it. A mouse couldn't get away. What happened to that mouse? It's dead. It flew to Vegas.
Didn't get resuscitated.
Yeah, no one cares if a fucking mouse dies.
So I was at home, and I've told people about my place. It's pretty small. It's basically just one room,
Right.
and my Connect is in the back wall. Is in the wall. It's looking in. Basically, my Connect can see my entire place. And Dan was at my house recently. He was playing games, and I was just walking around the room, and then Dan left for some reason. And the Connect will sign you in if it sees your
Right.
face, right? So I was walking around the room for ages and nothing happened. And then I decided to get dressed. And I took all my kit off. And as soon as I pulled my boxes down, the Connect went, "Hi, Gavin." So I'm wondering if it thinks that my dick was my face or something.
Like the dick is the equivalent of your nose, kind of thing, like the length.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out now if I go on the Connect to see what the Connect can see and just pull out my penis, will it put my name by
I don't
my
want to be
penis?
that guy, but is your like your pubic hair look like your normal hair? Like you part it? Like you have a nice little comb over it?
You know,
You put some gel in it.
Yeah,
like,
just spike it up a little
spike it up.
bit.
you can get pretty poofy down there.
I saw someone post on Reddit today that they shaved their beard and their Connect wouldn't recognize them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
So you should try that.
No, yeah, that's gonna be the reason why I shave my beard. Give that a shot.
I think
Man.
it seems like on Twitter, everyone's very happy with the fact that flying to Vegas is now a euphemism for death.
What happened to your grandpa? I flew to Vegas.
Yeah, we put him on a flight to Vegas. Or someone wrote, "Hey Tony, what happened to Joey? We put him on a flight to Vegas. If you catch my meaning." Thanks, Jay
That's like
Bolton.
killing him.
Like your kids come, Mom, what happened to Mittens? Oh, Mittens went to Vegas.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mittens is
She's in a
working on the
better
strip
place.
now.
No,
It's super cleaned up and
Yeah,
symmetrical and
thank
tight.
you.
I can totally see it. Shut up, Barbara.
Bless you.
but the thing was, I went to get my hair cut as well.
Roostgeez employees, there is a urinal in the big bathroom downstairs.
Yep.
Please use it
Bathroom on the left.
if you're male.
Go in and go to your left. Go to the shower and don't pee in the shower
Don't pee in the shower.
because that's disgusting.
No, do
no one
go
should do
for
it.
it.
Apparently, that's totally okay.
I don't
You're
think
all
so.
alone
All right,
here,
we-
Barbara.
We can get it.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, on
the
this
internet is on my
podcast, you
side.
are. The
Bernie
internet.
wasn't
Right now, do you see Bernie
Yeah.
here?
in my mind.
There you go. You're all alone.
I heard a
Pretty.
story today, I think it's on Howard Stern, of some woman in New York who slipped on ice as she came out of her office. And it was like they were doing an article about people like coming to help people who slip on ice. And apparently some dude in his 30s ran up to her and was like, "Oh, are you okay?" And then robbed her and ran off. People
Jesus
there's
Christ.
such an awful level of humans that I
terrible.
can't relate to in any way. Like, that wouldn't even cross my mind. It's like, oh, a vulnerable woman, I'm taking her bag. I would just be like, oh, you're right. But there's people
Like
that
she
just,
can't even. She doesn't know how to walk on the ice. Yoink. Like you put on your special shoes with like iron cleats that day. That way you don't slip.
the guy probably just hauled ass and ran away. I was really hoping that the story would end with him slipping over down the road and then
Get hit by
someone
a car
robbing
or
him.
something.
It's just like a chain reaction. It's like the bigger fish eats the smaller fish. Like a bigger dude keeps robbing over and over. Superman
Well,
doesn't
there's,
die.
There's two things, like two big things that happen at the end. Well, sort of, like there's one major thing that's just isn't Superman, and then there's another thing where it's like that's all the collateral damage in that movie. They just ignore
The
all
only
that.
thing I could think about the collateral damage. So after I watched it, I watched it with Esther. She said the same thing about the collateral damage. I said the only reason I could think you would show that much collateral damage is if the next movie is humanity mad at Superman and trying to get retribution for everything that he did in the first movie.
Did you not think it looked cool when they were just smashing the place?
Yeah, it's cool, but it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah,
Do you like the bit where
downing
letting them
buildings.
destroy the Earth is only slightly worse than what you did.
Do you like the bit where they ran out of stuff to break in the city, so they flew up to space, beating up a satellite?
They're beating up like both sides of the planet too. Like they go
I like the idea of like they go to space and immediately find a satellite. Like
Yeah.
they're not just everywhere out there. You'd have, if you flew up into space, you'd really have to look for a long time before you found a satellite, right?
Yeah, it's like gravity, right?
Yeah. Man,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm
movie.
actually excited for is it Superman versus Batman, or they haven't announced the title for it yet, have they?
No, they have not.
It's in the Marvel
I
universe.
have no comic book knowledge.
Okay,
What
it's-
superhero specifically?
It's It's a group called Guardians of the Galaxy,
What
which is like
superheroes
this
are in that?
weird. It's it's Rocket Raccoon.
Never heard of him.
What?
Yeah,
That's a real thing. I'm already out. I'm out.
Dude, it's awesome. It's a
Who's
tiny
the-
raccoon that's pissed off and like dual wield guns is awesome.
What?
Oh, so it's like a
Yeah, no,
cartoon
seriously,
thing.
it's serious.
Is it like lame and kiddie?
No, it's like
What?
it's supposed to be like really intense. It's
Really intense raccoon.
Did you
Rocket
have you seen
Raccoon.
Thor? Have you seen Thor 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last scene of Thor 2, the little PS thing that links it into the universe, that's part of Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't remember that.
The Benicio del Toro scene. I don't know if that was after the credits.
I never.
When they came up, they say, "Hey, hold on to this." He goes, "Okay." He's the Collector, who's part of that universe, and it all ties together. So Rocket Raccoon is in the same universe as like Tony Stark and Iron Man and like Captain America. It's
Suddenly,
like,
Iron Man and all that shit is way less.
I'm excited. Like they got Ant-Man coming out next year.
Wow,
and-
Ant-Man.
yeah,
They
dude,
really got the short end of the stick with the name.
Ant-Man and Rocket Raccoon.
Ant-Man's got Michael Douglas and Paul Rudd in it.
Paul Rudd.
Guys,
You don't like
his
Paul
fake
Rudd? I love
enthusiasm
Paul
is
Rudd.
my favorite emotion.
Paul Rudd's great.
Paul Rudd's awesome.
But I can't get Ant-Man.
No, Ant-Man, he shrinks down, but he has the strength of an actual a man, but he's tiny, so he can
So
like
wait,
beat
he's-
the shit
Whoa!
out of people while he's really small, and then he expands.
And then
so-
he's just weak.
No, he's still a man. He doesn't get weak when he's big.
Well, you said he can pick up an. He's strong like an ant when he's an ant. What?
No, so when he's tiny, he still has the strength of a normal sized man.
So he's
So
just
he's-
annoying.
so he could
it's
punch
getting
you.
punched by something you can't see.
Yes, but then like sends him flying across the
But
room.
then he gets normal size and he's just a normal dude.
Why would he ever be big then?
Well, he goes back and forth.
Why? Why
I
would
don't
he
know.
stay like
I'm
an
sure.
ant?
I'm sure
I
it's
love
Edgar
when you
Wright's directing.
confuse
I'm sure
yourself
he'll-
when
he'll
you're
show
trying
it.
to explain something.
Bloody Ant-Man.
He gets well.
Bloody Ant-Man.
Could you make a fist and then turn from like really small to really
Yeah, he
big? And like
can. No.
the fist can go really fast.
He can.
Could he put a really small fist on his normal size arm and just punch someone into space? Which part of the small makes him strong?
It's just he retains
It's
his
normal
strength.
even though he's small.
I don't understand
So
why that would be
imagine
good.
if you were as strong as you are now, but you were an inch. So like imagine being like really tiny and you could pick that thing up. Like
Yeah,
this
but what am I going to
base.
do? Punch you in the
I know
foot
it's
really hard?
stupid. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just
I'll punch your
I'm
shoes
explaining the stupid
Is it like
premise.
a stealth thing, so he can like sneak up on
It's a little bit
people?
of everything, but
A
it's
little
but
bit of
he's a
everything?
scientist for like he's
Oh.
he's a scientist like Tony Stark or Bruce Banner are. Bruce Banner is where like he's kind of the smart guy and he figures out how to make this. And actually in the comics, so the next Avenger movie is what's his name? The villain it's a robot thing that becomes Ultron. So it's the rise of Ultron. That's the next villain for the new
Okay.
Avengers movie.
Spoiler.
And in the comics, Hank Pym, who's Ant-Man, actually creates Ultron. And so he like makes a robot and he ends up being a bad guy. But this one, so they're trying to incorporate all that into the actual Marvel
So he's
universe.
a supervillain,
No, he's a good guy.
but he made a supervillain.
Yes, unintentionally.
Does he have a higher gravitational pull when he's an ant? Does he retain the mass?
It's a comic book movie.
Is he crush his mass down so stuff starts orbiting around
There's
him?
also a dude who turns into a giant green monster. it's a
Yeah,
comic
that's
book.
more believable. That seems more comic bookish versus the dude who gets really small.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, the Hulk is
the
like...
You should have called him
Exactly.
Penis Man. He's flaccid now. Now he's erect.
Well, no, the Hulk makes sense because he just grows big. It's just like he gets a lot of tumors or something.
His blood flow increases. All right, here. Let me read this thing. What a fucking great segue.
Jesus Christ.
Uh,
So Daft Punk playing live for the first time in 6 years is lame. That's
It's not Daft Punk.
Also, how were they playing? They were doing this.
they actually have synthesizers and stuff back
They're
there.
just doing this, and it's two completely random blokes in the suit. It's not Daft Punk.
All right, I found
Holy
an
shit!
article.
It's Daft Punk.
Oh, put on the helmet, Gus.
All right, I have a feeling the internet's with me on this one.
Do you think
No, I
the
love Daft
actual?
Punk, but it's like
Do you think the actual two French dudes were in those suits?
Yes,
No,
so.
absolutely.
I don't think they were.
I think so.
Absolutely, I
don't
think
think
they
I'm
were.
with you, Jack.
Do you think it was
Anyway.
like they had costume change partway through? Like at first they were wearing like the all black outfit, then they switched into white. Do you think?
Well, they had white for their performance.
but yeah, do you think it was like different guys? It's like the first guy's tagged out, like, all right, I'm going home. It's your turn to take over.
you go sit next to Beyonce in the row?
I'm pretty sure Daft Punk haven't been in those suits in over a decade.
I bet they have.
All right.
You think they wear the helmets and stuff when they're actually recording the music? They don't.
What's that got to do with it?
That's the same guys. It's the same guys from the early to mid '90s are still doing it today.
I'm saying they still make the music, but they just don't appear as Daft Punk.
Why wouldn't they?
'Cause
Why
it's-
would they?
Why would they? It doesn't matter.
it's
They
them,
could
it's
get
their
any two
performance.
dudes who match the height description to stand there going,
Yeah, you don't even see. Like you don't know what they're doing. They're just doing this.
They're playing music. They're
probably
doing
don't know
live
what they're doing.
sampling.
They probably can't see shit through those helmets.
Maybe they're animatronics.
It's like a fancy Chuck E.
They're
Cheese.
actually robots.
We were talking earlier about because Stevie Wonder was up there,
Yeah.
and how jarring it would be for him to suddenly gain sight in the middle of that performance, because he'd be like, "Oh my god, robots! Jesus,
There's robots.
How do you know
anyway,
what robots look like?
They kicked ass last night. But I mentioned on Twitter is like,
With both Pro Flowers and Berries, I should have enforced this more. That you click on the microphone in the top right corner to get the deal.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I had a meeting with them recently, and they said that our listeners are the worst at clicking the microphone in the top right, saving as much money as you should be. You're spending more money than you need to.
oh my
So
god!"
go to berries.com, click on the microphone in the
This
top
is not
right
helping
corner,
them.
and type teeth. That's BERRIES.com. Here, give me that. Are you a little tipsy?
No.
why
I'm
is this drunk?
You're kind of no. You're kind of glassy-eyed. Your
That's
eyes
just
are
the
like,
way I look.
you're like I can see the reflection
That was a
on
drunk
your eyes.
response. That's just the way I look.
Look at her. Look at
You
her
don't
eyes.
know who I
No,
am.
Ossifer, I don't need a
Look at
beer.
her eyes. They're like watery and glazed over.
I've seen you drunk. You're not.
No,
You're not drunk.
No, I'm not drunk.
I know drunk Barbara. It's
I
kind
am
of
not
like
Beer Drunkelman quite yet.
Beer, bro.
That's probably the
Drunkelman.
strawberry that did it to you.
Yeah.
That knocked
My
you
eyes
out.
get glassy when I have sweets.
So good.
It's weird.